All right, welcome back to the channel. For the easy woodworking project today is these little chalkboards. It's got a little shelf here with some hooks on the bottom of it in case you want to use them for putting keys and stuff on it, and a little chalkboard up here so you can write things. Really nice. Okay, let's go ahead and make it. Now, what we have for the bottom part of it right now is these are 20 inches long. Let me get my ruler here, make sure. I'm going to tell you guys wrong, but they're 20 inches long, like this, okay? And they're 3 inches wide. So I got 20 inches by 3. Okay, now these boards, you know, your fence boards, the way they normally come is they're into like a 5 inches, something like that. And I think it's like maybe 5.5 inches wide. And what I did is I just took the board and I split 3 inches. I cut 3 inches off of that board, so it gave me an extra piece here. Okay. Now the extra pieces are going to have to be, you know, 12. Will actually be 12 inches this way long, and then it would be probably 2.5, 2.25, something wide. Whatever you got left over, just go ahead and try to use it up. But the whole project across here is 12 inches. Now, before I get started, I want to go ahead and make sure I'm you know, leveled out, or not leveled, squared out. You want to make sure you do that first. You know, you don't want it to kind of go and crooked. Hold your boards together. Now, the boards do have a tendency, you know, these do, they shrink, which that's good. You know what I mean? It's a little character to it. Now, I marked 3 inches from the bottom up here. I marked 3 inches, then from the bottom up here 3 inches. Same things up here, because that's where I'm going to put the boards. So I just marked 3 inches so I can stick these in there, just like that right there. Okay. Then I have another one here, same size, 12 inches long. It'll go right here. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and glue it, and then we're going to go ahead and put some staples on it. I want to use the glue and the staples. Now the staples, these ones, I think these are the really long ones. I don't think I want to use these. I think I use these ones here. I think they're like an inch and something, maybe an inch. I don't really know. I never pay much attention to it. I just kind of take the staple and kind of line it up like this and make sure it doesn't go all the way through. Let's say these are about an inch, so these are inch staples. So I'll go ahead and stick those in there. But first, make sure I find the best side. That's just like these boards here. When you put these boards down, you know, to flip them over and try to find the best side. So, let's get some glue on this. So you got one here and one here. So we got 2 of them on there. And like I said, I have a square on them on the bottom here. Make sure they're pretty square. I mean, they're not going to have to be perfect. I'll throw in a couple staples here. Make sure this is lined up. Okay, now since I got that part done, and we can flip this over. Yeah, oh, looks alright. Flip it over here on the front side. This is going to be on the front side here. Now, what I did with the front side, here's the chalkboard, and this chalkboard you can pick it up pretty much anywhere. What it is, it's just a material they have here, and then of course they painted this with the chalk paint. If you got some of this at home, it'd be great to, you know, a little bit of chalk paint to do yourself. I have chalk paint here somewhere. So this chalkboard is 8.5 inches across here, and it is 12 inches long. So it's 8.5 by 12. And then we have here is the boards. I think I needed, not this one, put this over here. Two of them is 8.5 inches, and two of them are 14 inches long. And what they're going to do is just, of course, I find my best side. Going to go together like this. Okay. Just like that. Now, they don't have to be perfect in there. If you're off a little bit on the sides, that's great, because what we're going to do, we're going to glue that in there. And then I'll put some small nails in the corner, and that will be my pin nailer. I'm going to pin nail, so I want to pin nail this down. Now, each one of these boards are, you know, the same thing, the fence boards, but they're 1 inch wide. Okay, so you got 1 inch by 14, a 1 inch by 8.5 inches. And then your chalkboard is 12 inches long by 8.5 inches wide. Okay. I'll hook my pen nailer up. Get ready. So what I did is just kind of maybe use an extra piece, a 1 inch piece, and you can just use it for a little guide like this. You know what I'm saying? For your top, and then just kind of hold it up there like this. And, okay. So that would be where your top boards, and then of course put yourself a little mark up here, a little mark here. Okay, and then on your sides, now you don't really have a whole inch on your sides, so I just took a guess at it, just kind of line it up by eye. Which, I mean, if you want, you can go ahead and measure it. I mean, you can put a ruler on the side of it. I think this came out like 3/4, probably by 3/4, and then 1 inch on top if that's what you want. Just make sure it's square again. So take your square and square it up. Make sure everything's all square. Yep. Now, put a couple marks on your side so you can keep where this thing's going to be. Okay. Now, the first one I made, I took this thing and I glued the back of it and I dropped it down in it. And then the second one I made was a little bit harder because I had to go back and cut this again to make it fit down there. But that's fine. I mean, you know, just to cut it off a little bit to get it fit down in there. If that's what you got to do, it'd be easy to do it that way than it is to try to do it. You know, squish everything together at one time. And I did like this. And like this. So I got to start my two pieces here. My top and my one side. I'll get some glue on them. And I got to change this. I think I got to change the staples. Maybe not. I've been using the same staples over there. Now I'm going to use a pen nailer. I like using a pen nailer on this because what's going to happen? I'll end up flipping it over, and then I'll put the staples on the back so you can't see it on the front. So if I would just drive a couple pen nails in this. Just to hold it for me until I get ready to flip it over. Oh, that's a nice side. There it is. Okay. Sure I got my square again. I'll make sure that goes on there, because once I get that down, it's not going to be able to move. And then check, see if this will fit down in there. Okay. Them off a little bit right there. Just a little bit, so I'm going to have to cut that. Yeah, if I press up one, I'm going to make it nice and tight. That'll probably be better. Let me go and get this side on. pull this back a little bit, I'll just make it a little bit tighter. So that'd be good because it's going to help hold it in. And then put some glue in here. I want to fill that bottle up. It's starting to get empty. Okay. Now I'm going to put a couple of pins in these corners. I'll hold it down. And I can press up on that a little bit. That should do it. Like I said, I like trying to, try to hide the staples. You can see what it looks like, so I like to hide it as much as I can. So I'm going to put it this way. Try to get some bigger staples in it. Everybody's ain't too long. I don't think they are. There you go. Just got to make sure I don't miss. And a couple on top here. You can always, I'll probably end up adding more. This is just enough staples for right now, but I'll probably end up adding a little bit more staples. Okay, it's not too bad. Now, the only thing I need to do is the shelf. Okay, now the shelf is I just took the board that I cut off here, so it's actually 3 inches. So whatever was left over on the end of the 3-inch boards, the 3 by 20, I just made the shelf out of that. Now, the pre-drill it, you probably should pre-drill it because it's really hard to get a screw into something this thin without splitting it. If you, especially the aggressive screws I have, of course these are supposed to be self-tapping, I guess they call them, but they work really well. And just kind of lined up where you want it. Now, I think I did those other ones. So let's give you a measurement again. So this will be 12 inches and by 3 inches. And this is a little bit smaller, but I didn't want to waste it. So I said, well, I'll just go ahead and use it. I definitely don't want to waste too much wood there. So let's see, I went up 4 inches. So what did I do with my pencil? Oh, it's not here on the floor. So I went up 4 inches from the bottom, and I just put me a mark there. Okay, let's do it there. Then 4 inches on this side. Now it gave me 1 inch. So I would drop down 1 inch from the bottom of this down. So I drop down 1 inch. So it'd be, let's just put a mark here and put a mark right here. That would be better. Instead of put them over, you know what I mean. And then just run it right up to it like this. Okay, and I'll probably put a little bit of glue and put it this way. It looks like it's tilted a little bit. Now, the hardest thing was to flip this thing over and put those screws in there. That was the hardest thing. So I'm going to put a mark here. Mark down here. Because I have to pre-drill those first. Yeah, we don't even have to use that. We can just use this. Because the wood's soft enough to actually pull it in. And then I got to pre-drill this too. Forgot about that. I got to put this on here. Maybe put a couple staples in it to hold it. That's what makes it rough there. Got big staples in there. No, got some little staples in there. Take it out and put big staples in it. Okay, that should hold it until I get these things screwed. So let's put the screw in a little bit further. These are 1¼ inch screws. Just be careful. Like I said, you want to make sure you pre-drill it because of to split that wood. I have these little hooks here. Well, actually, they're for like pitchers, things like that. You can pick these off of Amazon or even eBay, whatever. But they're really nice little hooks. They work really well. They give you a little bag of screws that come with them. And then, of course, you can place your hooks, you know what I mean? Maybe one here, and then, you know, that's what I did. Then maybe put one over here or something like this. I think a lot of times you want to make them pretty even. So if it's, you know, maybe 6 inches apart, 8 inches apart or something like that, it'll be a little bit easier when you hook them up. But these are nice. I mean, I got to look how many's there. It's like a mess of them for just a couple bucks. So one thing you got to worry about or watch is that the wood's going to shrink. It's going to eventually shrink. So try to get everything all stapled up pretty strong on the back side of this thing. And then that'll keep it from pulling apart too much. But that's what you got to expect when you end up picking up fence boards. But if you didn't want it to shrink, get yourself some, you know, some really good boards, maybe a #1 or something like that, some 1x or something like that. Maybe cut them down to make this if you want to do it that way. But if not, this is just the way this one's made. It's supposed to look like old farmer, you know what I mean? You know, rough looking. So, okay. So now what I did is I ended up picking another thing off of Amazon. These are really cool. I mean, I'm always picking up just like little things from different places, but just little tiny hooks. You can see like this, and they're very inexpensive. I think this thing was like 12 bucks for this whole bag. I mean, it's really cheap. And then they give you a bunch of little screws and stuff with it. So, and then of course, you know, you want to put them on there. Figure out measurements. Mine would probably be, I would say, what did I do before? I just went ahead and used my square like this. And then I just put a mark on half-inch marks. Like this one, say the first one would be like 1.5 inches would be in the middle of the board, and then, you know, your next one will be 4.5 inches in the middle of the board, and then this one, I think this one here is what, 8, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the 1/2 inch. So if you got half here, each board, just mark it half. This board would be half, and then this board here would be, you know, half. So I just kind of use this. So this would be 2 inches here. So it's like 2 inches up, and put mark 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. If you're going to put the hooks on the bottom up, you don't have to. You can put some, there's some other hooks out there that you can find. So they don't have to be like this. I mean, there's a lot of them. Just pick you up a couple nice ones. I just thought these were pretty cheap. Very, very inexpensive. Then what do I do with that? And then I'll show you, put these little screws in them. A big old drill, put in little tiny screws. We'll make sure I get it in there. But this would be the third one so far I made. It's not too bad. I imagine if you wanted to put, you know, make quite a few of them, you just you know, go ahead and cut all your pieces at one time. It's like I think I started out like 4. I cut 4 all together, and then I started putting, you know, stuck. Well, I got 2 of them. Like I said, I got 2 more yet to do, but a lot of fun. One more. And I have some more screws I got to put in. I'm just putting these in for right now to show you. So there you go. A nice little chalkboard. I think it's really nice. I'm going to end up putting like a clear coat or something. Go ahead and seal it before it dries too much. I do like the character of being rough. I mean, that's basically what you're using your these boards for. You're not making them, you know, smooth. You know, I know they're inexpensive. They don't cost that much, but they're a great little board to kind of make things like this out of. I made a lot of things out of it. So, really nice little chalkboard. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can write things on it, put it in the kitchen if you like your kitchen country style or whatever. Got a little shelf here. You can throw things on it like this. And then also key hooks on the bottom or chain hooks or whatever you got you want to put on it. If you put it in the kitchen, you can put a kitchen mitts or something like that on it. So, okay, well, if you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And if you got any comments, just leave them down below, and I'll get back as soon as I can. And thanks for watching.